Hey everybody, it's PartyElite, and today we're checking out The Wandering Village, a very beautiful city builder with some very interesting ideas that I'm looking forward to for a very long time. I actually got to play the demo earlier during one of the Steam Next Fests this year, but this is the actual early access build that'll be releasing tomorrow on the 14th of September. So a huge thanks goes out to the developers for providing me with early access to the early access build so I can showcase the Wandering Village on the channel. But beyond that as well, a huge thanks goes to them for providing me with 3 keys to give away to 3 lucky individuals who will be winning today. So over the course of this video, folks, at 3 different points in time, I'll have the early access Steam keys on screen. Don't worry, I'll mention it out loud as well so you can prepare yourself to actually get the key and drop it into Steam and add the game and have access to it when the game becomes available again tomorrow on the 14th of September. It is an absolutely beautiful time. I'm sure you will enjoy the show today as well as the game itself if you do win it or decide to pick it up for yourself. Just want to mention really quickly, if you are enjoying it, please don't hesitate to let me know down below with a like and a comment. The plan right now is to have just a single episode showcase, but if folks are interested in seeing more of the Wandering Village on the channel, I will go ahead and make this into a mini-series, and then perhaps beyond that, a few more episodes too. But the best way to let me know that you're enjoying it, that you would like to see more, is of course by leaving a like down below, or perhaps leaving a comment as well to let me know as much. With that said, let's hit that new game button, go ahead and set our difficulty to Adept, because while I am somewhat familiar with the game, I am not familiar with this latest build, and I think Veteran would be a little too harsh to kick things off with. So why don't we go ahead and call this the Elite City, and go ahead and begin? Yeah, we could take a look at customized difficulty over here. We have some options to make things a bit easier or perhaps a bit harder, but we'll keep that default for now, keep it at Adept, the way it's, I suppose, meant to be played for intermediate players, and see how it all goes.
Driven from our homes by the toxic spores, we kept wandering, looking for shelter. But not in our wildest dreams did we imagine what we would find.
Alright, now if you're familiar with city builders and colony management games, then there were a lot of features in The Wandering Village that will seem quite familiar, but there's a huge twist that takes all those familiar features and concepts and puts them on unfamiliar ground, rather literally, because everything is happening on the back of a giant creature. An Onbu, as it's known, and this affects gameplay in so many different ways. I absolutely love the integration. One of the most important ways in which it affects things is with regards to how you take care of your people while also needing to take care of the Onbu. If the Onbu dies, then your entire village dies as well, and you have to take care of its health. You also have to take care of its trust level. If you do things that hurt the Onbu, if you make decisions that hurt the Onbu, then it will not trust you, and it will not listen to you when you give it orders with regards to where it should go on the greater world map. And so sometimes it might traverse through terrible territory, it might traverse through biomes that are particularly hot or particularly cold, or where there are spores that will hurt it and your villagers. But if it trusts you, you're actually able to tell it where to go, you're able to harness your relationship and protect yourselves and the Onbu from potential dangers. A lot of very fascinating stuff, folks. I'm very much looking forward to exploring it all with you today. Let's go ahead and kick things off by, first of all, hitting resume, and let's pick up some trees and stone over here. We need a lot of good stuff to actually build shelter and all matter of structures and buildings, of course, and just scouting out where we might want to put down like berry harvesters and things like that. Lots of trees down over here, and you'll also notice actually earlier you might have seen this is something we can harvest as well, but I'm actually avoiding that because just immediately an example of the uniqueness of this game. Yes, if I need it, if I'm in a desperate situation, I can harvest this Onbu spike for 30 stone, but it will reduce the Onbu's trust in us. And this is just one case or one example of where the Onbu becomes relevant for regular city building and resource management type gameplay. So I just wanted to point that out right off the bat, but I mean, wow, my villagers are moving faster than I am. So let's go ahead and get to work over here. Let's put down a bunch of tents. We have 16 villagers. Each of these villagers or each of these tents rather fits up to 2. Why don't we go ahead and set up shop maybe a bit further back over here, because the front is where a lot of the Onbu control instruments end up being. So actually, rather in the middle over here. 1, of course, 2, 3, or I don't mind being on this muddy ground as well. We'll get one of these worker posts settled over here, and then we'll go ahead and get another 1, 2, 3, 4. So kind of centralized worker post over here. We have a bunch of these tents coming up as well. Let's get the dirt roads down like so. And again, you might be familiar with some of these concepts, but if not, dirt roads are... while clearly your villagers don't actually need roads to traverse on, roads are faster to traverse on, so you want to make sure that things are moving efficiently, and as you can see, resources actually have to be carried to where they're needed, and so you want to make sure you're actually taking care of the location of things like storage and all that kind of good stuff. Tents are being built, and pretty soon we'll have housing for everybody. Why don't we go ahead and get some water set up for everybody as well? Where is, under food, I believe, we have the air well, which takes humidity from the air and converts it into water, which then gets stored into, or in water storage tanks. So let's go ahead and put the air well, perhaps... down here, sure, and we'll go ahead and get some of the water tanks set up right next to it. The shape is a little unfortunate that it has a bit of a funky shape. Why don't we... Oh, it's gonna really bother me, isn't it? Why don't we go ahead and put you down over here, and maybe let's put 2 down for now. Put them right... Oh, I don't think they have to be right next to the air well, but I'm going to do that for the sake of organization. But I also want to point out that humidity is actually impacted by where we're located, which biome we're in. So right now humidity is normal, but if we're in a different sort of biome, then humidity might be too low for the water harvesting to work, or it might be so high that we have accelerated water harvesting. So that's why having control over the Onbu and where it goes is extra important to make sure that you are able to, you know, move as you need and acquire what you need when you need it. Let's make sure we're harvesting some more resources as well. Looks like we've already run out of wood. Now let's go ahead and harvest these trees, and these trees. Very careful not to actually get those spikes. And we'll set up some housing or something next to those spikes. Make it a bit of a destination, perhaps even. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the berry gatherer actually as well, and place the berry gatherer maybe up over here. It's a bit of a it's a bit away actually. I don't love that necessarily, but we'll have farms and stuff soon enough. Let's go ahead and set you down where I suppose we'll do that. Seems efficiency 45. That's really not that great. 49, 58. All right, 31. I guess I'll have to be satisfied with like a 58 or so. Fair enough. I'll take the 58 over here. Cool. They'll go ahead and build that, and again, I can build a road to actually connect to it if I feel the need to have our villagers moving that slight bit faster, and it might not be a terrible idea eventually. For now, though, I think it should be okay. Let's go ahead and prioritize this so that gets done sooner rather than later, and let's prioritize this as well. It's almost done. Set this to medium. Cool. I don't know how much of a difference that'll make with just 16 people working right now, but hopefully it makes enough of a difference and we start seeing some progress get made over here. And apart from that, why don't we go ahead and take a look at carpenter, stone cutters, mycologists. Again, you can see there's a huge variety of types of items and just concepts to manage. You know, people can get diseased. There can be fungal growths. You end up walking around with flamethrowers to take out fungal growths. There's a research building to actually you know, keep us ahead of the curve as far as the potential threats the world has to offer. Let's go and put the research building actually up over here, or oh, why? They're equal width, so why don't we go ahead and put the research building up over here? Because what I'm thinking is, if I want another water tank, which I might eventually, I wouldn't mind putting it right down over here. Get this dirt road extended this way, because I do believe also that farming needs to happen on fertile soil, which mud is not. So I don't mind having construction happening on the dirt, if you will, while farming happens, of course, on fertile ground. Could actually put it up over here, have all the farms off in the distance there. Again, there's a space up front that I want to keep clear for all Onbu control related things. And I also want to make sure, I believe these yellow trees grow into full trees. Yes, this is a mother tree. Harvesting it doesn't yield anything yet, but as it grows, it'll eventually give us trees. They take time, though, of course, to actually grow to full size, and so that's, again, something you have to manage to make sure you're not that you're not deforesting, I suppose, the back of your Onbu. But yes, this farm, let's try and stay on task over here. This farm can be established. I don't think I mind having it up over here. I think that gives us enough room for everything we need. I want to make sure I'm able to actually utilize as much of this ground as possible around it. Not ideal up there. What about down over here? Sure, let's go ahead and do that. Very, very, very disparate placement of things. Perhaps a little inefficient, but I think we'll be okay. So this needs to get built first before I can actually lay the fields down. So why don't we go ahead and harvest some of these trees. They'll get harvested anyway when we give the command to put the fields down, but might as well prioritize this so we're not, you know, harvesting trees and then harvesting more trees before we can put fields down when we have to harvest trees anyway. This is all good. People are bringing stone and stuff over. Why don't we go ahead and plan some of these roads out. Get you coming up this way. That does need to be cleared out. That's okay, though. Pull you up this way, sure. And pull you up like so. Again, make things a little bit faster, I suppose, as these guys are traveling. How's the Onbu doing? Still sleeping. It'll take some time for it to get up and get a move on. Our initial starting biome is not the best biome you can possibly have. There are more ideal biomes that you can start in, but I think it's because we're doing the adept difficulty. I think that's why we're starting here. And that's perfectly fine by me. I don't think we'll have too much trouble. Research building is fine. Are we almost done up over here? Let's speed time up a little bit. I think we'll be okay at 3 speed. Yeah. You guys are getting to work. Again, we'll be fine if we don't have the farm up and running right away. That's why I'm not prioritizing it, because there are still plenty of berry bushes to pick up, and we can, of course, use the harvest command to scoop some up as well. Like we have some over here, we can go ahead and harvest these without the need of a berry gatherer, but having a berry gatherer actually allows us to like add workers, and so we don't have to micromanage the actual work being done. Oh, and it looks like the Onbu is getting up. And folks, as the Onbu rises, perhaps now is a great time to provide one of the early access keys. So on screen, you will see a key. Perhaps at the top left corner there, you'll be seeing a key coming up in just a moment's time. And if you type that key into Steam, when you go to add a game and you drop this into the little slot for the key, you'll get the Wandering Village for yourself. So it's going to come up in 3, 2, 1. There you go. Going to keep it up for a little bit as we see the Onbu begin its long march. I was going to say endless march, but it's not truly endless, because eventually the Onbu will die. Not from like old age, but just from the sheer amount of damage and threat that the world has to offer. I will say as well, at various times the Onbu will need to sleep, it'll need to rest, it'll need to eat, so it does take on more than just the act of walking and taking damage to his health. It has a life of its own, it has needs of its own, and as you can see, we have its hunger, we have its poison level, and we have its sleepiness level as well. Eventually, as we build a horn blower and stuff, like I said, we're able to give it some commands, and we're able to research more and more commands as we go further and further along with our relationship with the Onbu as well. We'll unlock more commands. But why don't we go ahead and zoom back out actually really quickly so you can see the movement that's happening. And the thing is, as we move from zone to zone, we'll eventually be able to send scavenging parties out to quarries and to ruined settlements, to forests, and much, much more besides, to pick up a variety of items and perhaps even more villagers. So you want to make sure that you are sort of timing your movement accordingly as well, so that you are able to acquire things like iron ore and stuff before you are out of range of those various scavenging sites. So let's go ahead and zoom back in now and make sure we're staying on task over here. We've got research is ready. Let's go ahead with the hornblower right off the bat, used to issue commands to the Onbu, which it may or may not follow. Again, it's based on trust. If we do take a look at the research tree, you will see that there is quite a bit to it, and I already see there's a huge change here from their Next Fest build with categorization. So we have village, resources, and Onbu. So under Onbu are things like the hornblower or the Onbu doctor to keep it healthy, or the Onbu kitchen to keep it fed without it needing to stop at a feeding spot. As you might have seen on the map, there was a bunch of mushrooms, and stopping there, the Onbu can actually feed itself, but sometimes you'll want to avoid those because of other dangers en route, but you also want to make sure that your Onbu isn't going hungry, because then they'll start well, starving. And so you'll want to build things like the Onbu kitchen or the feeding trebuchet that lets you launch food into its mouth. Lots of good fun stuff over here. I really quite enjoy the thinking and creativity here. But of course, you can also see we have other options with regards to commands we might want to give and how we might want to make it like us more, like petting it. Resources, of course, is resource related. You'll see we have various kinds of food, various kinds of things like forestry, glass blowing, all kinds of cool stuff. But with regards to food, like black pudding, you can see it requires a blood extractor, and if we use the blood extractor, it'll actually reduce the trust that the Onbu has in us, because we're literally pumping its blood out to produce black pudding. It's just so creative. It's just so clever. But let's get to work. Hornblower, let's go ahead and research you. I couldn't help but be distracted by describing some of these ideas to you right now, because I just adore it. There's no better word for it. Adore is the word I would use. I just adore it. And just look at the art. It's so, like, I'm keeping it no secret that I adore this game in so many different ways for so many different reasons. The sheer amount of creativity, the cool concepts it's got, the way they're all executed, just beautiful stuff. Just beautiful stuff. Let's go ahead and actually remove some of the road if I can remember how to do that. I believe this is the destruction tool. Let's go ahead and bring some of this road back, and people actually have to come through and rip it off, or rip it up, I suppose. And I forgot that the plot would actually need some of this territory over here as well. So I want to go ahead and add plot, and I think we'd be fine just doing the whole thing, like so. Go ahead and maybe add some more workers here. We have 2 right now, 0 idle. But that's because a lot of them are still harvesting trees and things like that. Or, getting rid of this road over here. Go ahead and add a bit more to the plot over here as well. That'll be done soon enough. I'll do it all at once. Let's go ahead and add 1 more worker. That should be enough. Because again, we do have some food. We should be okay. We should be okay for a little while we wait for all this stuff to be, actually planted and eventually harvested. It all takes time, obviously. Do they seriously start walking away? Almost done the job. Come on now, finish it off before you go home. That's just my luck. How are we looking otherwise, though? Research is slowly progressing. Good stuff. 2 scientists. I believe that's the most we can have right now. Yep. And our people are fully covered. We have 16 houses for 16 people. Population level is basic. As the level, if memory serves me correctly, as the level goes higher and higher, we require more advanced goods and things like that. But We'll discover that as we move forward. I'm working off memory there, so I apologize if I've remembered it wrong. But let's go ahead and finish this all up. Work, plant right. Oh no, yeah, do both. Plant and harvest, please and thank you. And we're planting beets right now. Looks like we have some water. We need a fair bit of water to actually take care of the fields, and you can see these guys are coming through and doing exactly that. I do like the. I've got so many compliments for this game. I just love the art style as well, and how the characters actually look, and their various, costumes and outfits and animations and stuff. It's just good stuff. It's just good stuff. Over here we have, so berries are being picked. They're being stored over here, and then they're being moved. Actually, they might not be being moved. They might just be being eaten up over here, which is highly inefficient. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at storage and get some material storage down. Perhaps where? Right next to the water? Sure. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get 4 of you down. Get a nice shape going, I suppose. And we'll go ahead and get this road coming down this way and around this way. The fact that this doesn't line up is certainly a bother. I suppose I could do that, and then it kind of lines up. And what about water? The air well is producing... As you can see, humidity right now is right down the middle, so we have 100% production speed. The more arid it gets, the worse this production speed gets. The damper it gets, the better this production speed gets. If I zoom out, how are we looking right now? All right, about halfway to the feeding spot. Not too concerned about anything right now. It's a relatively safe opening act, I suppose, so we should be okay. These guys are farming away. The pantry stores all kinds of food for villagers. How much space do you take? Of course, you're a double like this. Okay, why don't we go ahead and cancel you and you. And get the pantry down over here, and if we need another one, we'll put it on the other side of this street or something. But if we have then all the villages over here, and then we have the food storage and material storage over here, I think it makes sense in terms of the travel distance and time. We could also get this road extended, actually. like this. We'll, of course, again, need to clear out the rock. And you can see the harvest command is already given there. So they'll clear this stuff out, and that should make it easier to bring food from the farm over to the pantry when it's eventually built. And it should also make it easier to bring water down to the farm to actually help with the farming. So, like, again, the resource management and stuff gets quite in-depth in this game, even before you unlock any, abilities or abilities, any new technologies or anything like that. And then it only gets even more complex. Make wood planks from wood. Probably a good idea to have one of these carpenters down. Right, I keep forgetting how wide those buildings are. Carpenter, stone cutter, I suppose, on either side of the material storage. Sure, go ahead and pop you down there. And the stone cutter makes stone slabs from stone. So pop you down there, leaving a gap for the road to go down if need be. We have the mycologist as well. So the mycologist is able to harvest mushrooms, which are used for Onbu food. But we don't have anything really to feed the Onbu with. I believe we're able to harvest mushrooms for ourselves as well. So let me see if I can find a mushroom over here. There we go. A mushroom patch. Harvesting it doesn't yield anything yet. Okay, fair enough. And you can see again over here, depending on weather conditions and where we are right now in our biome right now, things will either grow or suffer. Just beautiful stuff. Just beautiful stuff. A fully grown mushroom ready to be harvested can be turned into Onbu food. Okay, so I don't think our people can eat mushrooms. There's no point in building a mycologist until we have the ability to feed the Onbu, either with a trebuchet or with something else. And currently we are still slowly researching our hornblower, right? Which is what actually gives us access to all this stuff. Eventually we can get the Onbu kitchen and use those mushrooms to make Onbu food, or we can take a look at some of these commands. I'm not sure exactly which direction I would like to pursue, but I do know for sure I would like to speed time up a little bit, so why don't we go ahead and do that. I love this. We have its like heart rate and stuff written down as well. Current time, heart rate. These are the different zoom levels if we want to watch the Onbu walk, or if we want to take a look at the world map over here, and we're about to arrive at a feeding spot. And again, we'll stop over there and the Onbu will eat. I can't recall if it's at a certain threshold or if it'll eat as long as it gets to a spot. This is a mine over here. I'd eventually like to get scavenging parties set up so that we can stay on top of all the goods that we're walking past right now. All right, good stuff. Material storage, and of course we can control what gets stored where. Material storage is of course for materials, whereas the pantry is for food. And for now, I think we'll accept everything everywhere. There's no reason to be particular. We don't have enough chaos yet, but this is a great opportunity to show you some of the complexity with like the kind of stuff that the kitchen can make, for example. Not the Onbu kitchen, but the regular village kitchen. Beet soup, we got berry muesli, I never know how to pronounce that. We've got, of course, the black pudding, we've got bread, all sorts of good stuff. Polenta, grilled tomatoes. Like, there are a lot of layers to this game, and I just want to point all this stuff out because, of course, it takes time to get to them, and I want to make sure that even if we don't get to them today, you know that it exists. Biogas, compost. We have, like I mentioned earlier, we also have like flamethrowers and stuff that'll be coming eventually. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. And I believe some things are only accessible off the Onbu. Some things you have to travel for, or use scavenging parties for. Water tank, material storage, we've got all that stuff built. We've got all this stuff built. The worker post over here. Focus as general workers, that sounds good to me. I wonder if I want to add a few more. We have 0 idle right now, because there's a lot of construction going on right now. We'll leave this be for now. Storage, like I said, we built all that. Farms, berry gatherers, all that's good. All this is good. Yep. Cool. The herbalist is important for, well, medical purposes, as you can see. I'm just wondering if we need one right now, or if we can hold off a little bit. None of our villagers are unwell. The Onbu is fine as well, though for that, of course, we need a different kind of doctor entirely, a different kind of building entirely. So I think we're okay for now. We can simply speed time up and wait until some research gets completed, I suppose, or until an event happens on the world map. Oh, you know what? Fair enough. If we're not hungry enough, or rather I should say, if the Onbu is not hungry enough, we walk right past the feeding spot. Fair enough. Down over here, what do we have here? A shrine. Place that holds an ancient artifact containing forgotten knowledge. Ooh. I kind of wish I'd had some scavenging parties. Maybe we research that next. Let me see what our tree actually looks like. Village, kitchen, scavenger hut is kitchen, and then scavenger hut. Okay, fair enough. We could get some more scientists, perhaps. Where is our... Research building? Nah, we're maxed out. We're maxed out. Okay, that's alright. We're working quickly enough. Again, we are at 4 times speed. I could speed things up a little bit further. No, that's actually max speed. Fair enough. Looking good, looking good. Alright. All these roads are being made. We have the carpenter again. Do we necessarily desperately need wood planks right now? No, but we'll have some in storage, and we can always reduce the number of workers when we feel like we've got enough made. It's just to give us a bit of a head start, I suppose, and to assign everybody some work. And we'll keep these minimized as a result, the carpenter and the stone cutter as well. We'll keep them minimized. It does look like we need some more stone, so why don't I go ahead and, first of all, learn how to grow cacti at your farm. Cacti are an alternative water source in hot climates. Oh, interesting. So this is new. I believe the cactus was not actually at, or in the Next Fest demo, so I think the cactus plantation is new. And it's good to have more water sources when we're in hot climes. Like I was saying, when it's hot, the, like, various mechanics change depending on the biome you're in, so that's very cool. Let's go ahead with the kitchen though. Makes berries, beets, and onbu blood into processed food. So we'll go ahead and get the kitchen going, and that way we can work on the scavenger parties as well. For now though, let's go ahead and build the horn blower. Not enough resources available, good to know. And you can see the horn blower needs to be built in a specific range over here. So why don't we go ahead and pop the horn blower down right over here, kind of a central location. Is it the most efficient? I'm not sure, but I think it's the most logical to have it right in the middle, so it can hear us clearly in both ears. I don't know where its ears are. Maybe that. Anyway, I think it looks nice, so we'll do that. Apart from that, we are now wanting to harvest some more stone. Let's go ahead and clear you out. Let's go ahead and clear you out. This is the thing. You do have to micromanage a bit if you don't have the work buildings in place, right? Onbu evacuated its bowels. All right. Cool. Thanks for sharing. Let's go ahead and clear these stones out. Get some more stone up over here. Just making room for more construction in this central area. We'll probably keep the... again, some of these buildings require things like quarries, or we do have these giant tree trunks as well, for which we need sawmills. So as we unlock more technologies and as we devastate the biome on the back of this creature, new technologies allow us to acquire resources from new deposits, I guess, including deposits within the Onbu. Eventually you can actually, like, if memory serves and if they haven't changed how it works, you can actually deep mine the Onbu, and deep quarry produces stone by drilling deep into the Onbu's back. This process will hurt Onbu's trust in you. I mean, of course it will. We're literally digging into its back, literally stabbing it in the back. So it's just clever stuff like that I again, I'm enjoying quite a bit with Wandering Village. This is looking pretty good. I mean, honestly, it looks like we made too large a plot for how much food we're actually harvesting. That's okay, though. We're a small village right now, just 16 people. As we pick more people up, we'll need more food and stuff. So I don't mind thinking ahead, of course. Now, how's storage looking? Are we actually storing stuff in here? We are indeed. We've got some wood planks in there. We've got some stone coming in over here. Good stuff, good stuff. I don't necessarily want to split it up or be super organized about it right now. I think we're fine as we are. Stone cutter makes slabs from stone. Again, I don't think we need that just quite yet. The horn blower is the next construction. Yep, wood planks coming through. Oh, hey, what do you know? See, and I'm glad I had those wood planks, right? Because I didn't have to worry about... we didn't have to wait as long, though I do feel we're running out of just plain old logs. I want to go ahead and harvest this section over here. Could also harvest this section over here. It's a bit closer to storage, I suppose. Makes it a bit easier. Because you can see now that we have these storage locations, things aren't just being dumped on the ground here and there. We, by the way, just to be clear, don't want to take over all of the muddy terrain, because that is where the mushrooms grow best. So just like the farms need to be on green terrain, any opportunity to grow mushrooms can only happen on the dirtier, like, soil, I guess we'll call it. So we do have to make sure to leave enough of both available for those kinds of needs for farming and mycology. Mushroom farming is still farming, right? Technically speaking, right? Mirabella. I just was drawn immediately to the outfit there. So vibrant. Was she just grabbing a bite? I guess she was, yeah. Fair enough. I hope we're not too far away to store food up over here. We are bringing berries here, but the beets don't seem to be making it. So hopefully that's okay. Hopefully it's not poor planning on my part. once the kitchen is done, perfect timing, we'll go ahead and get the Scavenger Hut happening. 2 days and 8 hours. We'll commit to that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the world map really quickly. So it seems as though we have taken our first turn. Okay, perfect example of where having the Hornblower made a bit earlier and having control over the Onbu would have made a difference. See, when we reach this crossroads over here, we could have decided to go up or onwards. And if we'd gone onwards, there were some villagers over here, some nomads that we would have picked up en route. Now, there are still some nomads up over here, so we got lucky, but it's very possible to end up in unwanted circumstances when you don't have control over your Onbu, which is a mix of not just having the Hornblower, but trust as well. Ruined settlement. What is this? A short cold snap. Again, perfect example. If we'd gone onwards, we might have avoided this cold snap and the troubles it might bring. We should be fine. We should be fine. It's early on in the game still, but this stuff can cause a lot of trouble if you don't stay on top of it. Now, we do have the Hornblower over here. Full staff is required at all times. We have some interactions available. We can lie down, walk, run, and as we move onwards, we can go ahead and take care of the Onbu using our animal doctor, or deal with feeding the Onbu when we have the Onbu feeding trebuchet built as well. Now, as we're stopping to have another quick snack over here, the Onbu is chowing down. Why don't we go ahead and have another of those early access keys put up on screen? So again, folks, top left corner, we're going to have another key pop up in 3, 2, 1. There it is. Going to keep that on screen for a little bit as we're done eating over here, as the Onbu hunger has been reduced to 0%, and as the Onbu starts moving as well, we'll keep it up there so you can go ahead and redeem that key and play the game for yourself when it actually releases. So you can drop that into your Steam right away, but the game itself will unlock on the 14th of September. I believe it's 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, which is noon Eastern time, which is, I think, like, is it 4 or 5 GMT? I can't remember right now. Time zones escaping me right now. And down goes the Onbu for a little lie down too. I saw its sleepiness get higher and higher, and I thought it'd be a shame to miss out on this animation. Feels almost like camel-like. Can you imagine living on the back of that thing as it's having a lie down, as it starts to like creep down? And are you gonna put your head down as well? Yeah. There's the yawn, the little curl, and the lie down. Now again, we could use commands to tell it to lie down before it hits that threshold, and maybe we use that to our advantage to prepare for an upcoming cold snap or what have you. So this has actually worked out nicely for us, but at other times we might need to use the commands to stay on top of things. So the Onbu sleeps. Let's go ahead and keep our research going with regards to what? What are we researching right now? We are currently researching the Scavenger Hut. Right. Good stuff. Are we close enough to that? No, you can see that mysterious artifact area is away from us now. Had we kept going straight, then maybe we would have held on to the chance to get to it, but no such luck. That's okay. Not the end of the world. I'm sure more will come up in due time. Can we start moving the berries over here, please? I would very much appreciate that. Now let's go and get the kitchen built. I suppose we could pop it down there, or we could pop it down here, a bit closer to the pantry. Sure, yeah, build around these spikes. Or you can probably tell that the difference in the non-grid nature of some of these things does get to me a touch. Not in a bad way. It's fine. It's fine. But as you can see, this decision was made purely because then I could put this road down like so, and not have something stick out over here by one step. Perfectly fair, by the way. It's like it's a whole puzzle thing, right? Like that's not a dig against how these things have different sizes. It's just my own neuroticism getting in the way there. Cool, good stuff. Planting and harvesting. I suppose I could focus. We are eating our food, so we should keep both planting and harvesting happening. Because what we can do is we can keep the planting happening and then focus on harvest just before we hit the freezing zone. Again, growth is slowed down because of how cold it is right now, and we're about to be hit by a cold snap. So maybe we don't plant, maybe we only harvest and free up these workers to do other things instead. We're not busy enough to micromanage like that just quite yet, I think. Let's go and speed time up, and yeah, roads being built. We have all the stone slabs and wood planks we need. I don't think so. I do not think so. So let's go ahead and harvest some more stone over here. Right? Yeah, good stuff. Now let's go ahead and harvest some more trees as well. There you go. Grab all these guys. Grab all these guys. Cool. Hopefully that's enough for now. Go ahead and maximize to 4 speed as night falls. And research hits about 50%. Are we almost done? No, it's 68% sleepiness. Still. Fair enough. Having a long lie down. I don't recall it taking quite so long in the past, but it's good. Like I said, it's working out for us. But that's also why you might want to manage when your Onbu falls asleep, right? Because if we were in a terrible biome or we were in a worse situation, we might need to like get a move on, and that wouldn't work for us, right? No, this is really not. This is they're not storing the beets up over here, but that's okay. That's okay because eventually when we've got the kitchen set up and we're making more produced like foodstuffs, we'll be seeing the pantry get a fair bit of usage. Get these stones cleared out as well. And again, I'm not too concerned about running out of stone or anything because by the time that happens, we'll have our scavenger huts ready to go and we'll be able to actually get stone and all manner of resources from the world at large. And water being brought over, good stuff, good stuff. So we could actually use compost. If we had compost, we can use compost to improve growth rate, if memory serves me correctly. So again, nifty little details and touches here and there. One more wood plank is all we need. All right, research is almost done over here. 4% more needed. And Buddy is still napping. 36% sleepiness. Getting a little hungry, it seems. Village Doctor or Cactus Plantation. Let's go ahead and open the research tree because it only tells us, again, we have many more options, right? Scavenger Hut is done. Warehouse Hut for 6 villagers apiece. I think that can wait. Cottage right up top over here. Nice, fancy. We could take a look at Cactus Plantation for wheat harvesting, windmills, and bakeries to get bread going. Or perhaps we take a look at resources. Dung Collector. We use to produce biogas and fertilizer. And there's the compost heap available rather early on, actually. Bile extractor. Or the sawmill to get access to those giant trunks right on the Onbu's back. And there's the tree nursery as well. Why do we not go ahead and get ourselves the Onbu kitchen? Perhaps? Just so we can see how feeding it actually looks and works? Or... yeah, I'm so torn. There's so many things I want to show you, you know? There's so many things I want to show you. Why don't we go ahead and do Cactus Plantation? And that way we can get towards the bakery or something like that. Do I have regrets? Maybe. I kind of want the feeding trebuchet. Sure. Yes. To the Onbu kitchen, to the feeding trebuchet, so I can show you the interactions with the Onbu, because that's such a unique, like, factor in this game, right? Why would I not focus on that? Go ahead and get a couple of people perhaps working here. What do we have right now? 3 are unemployed. None are idle, because there's a lot of stuff to do still, right? Food's being made. There you go. We've got some berries in here being turned into a berry muesli. Again, I think that's how that's said. But I can change what we're actually producing as well. Lots of berries being brought in. We can allow that to happen first. I do believe processed food is, yeah, it has higher quality, and I do believe it'll keep people happier and healthier as well. So let's allow all those berries to get converted into berry muesli, and it should be, I guess people are actually eating it right away. 3 reserved. Is it for carrying away or for eating? We'll find out shortly, I'm sure. Yeah, eating. That guy just chowed down right away, didn't he? Hopefully we'll see the storage actually get used, but I think people are just super hungry these days. Well, now that we have better quality food, and as we produce more higher quality food with more consistency and with more workers, we'll actually have a surplus. Not going to have a storage without a surplus, right? We also need more workers to help produce that surplus. These guys are just out of reach while the Onbu sleeps. We'll be up soon enough. But you can see just how long that cycle actually lasted, right? We managed to research, what, 1.5 things? Maybe even 2.5 things while it was asleep. And it's almost done over here, about to wake up. Go ahead and get pick up. Any second now. Come on, buddy. Up we go, up we go. Oh, look at that. Like, again, very camel-like. Actually, not as tilty as a camel, I suppose, but just due to its scale, the shifts that are happening are significantly bigger, I guess. So bringing berries in, sure. I'm wondering if I want to swap this to something else, like the beet soup, for which we need beets, and see if they're actually going to bring the beets over. We'll check it out. Slow moving at 4 speed. That's fine by me. People are overall pretty happy. Looking forward to actually getting some of the those villagers that we saw, right? And it looks like we're traveling through the cold snap right now. We're about to. We're very close to it. You can see, and there it is. There's our warning right there. So why don't we go ahead, since we don't want to be in this cold snap, in this horrendous climate, why don't we go ahead and give the run command. Zoom on in to the horn blower over here. All right, show interactions, and run. He has accepted our command, and you can kind of see he's picked up his pace a little bit. It's really cool. It's just really neat. Oh, come on. Come on, you can pick up your pace a bit more than that. I want to get through here as quickly as possible. 21 hours we'll be in here. Come on. Come on. Accepted the command. At the fastest you can go. Wow, how slow does it go otherwise? To be fair, it's massive, so each step it's taking is like traversing an entire, I don't know, village's length, I guess. But hopefully this will get us through. You can see again the temperature is freezing, so over here we are freezing, and our growth is still at 60%. I wouldn't mind seeing another more punishing threshold over here, but again, we were in freezing already, right? So that's all good. Onbu Kitchen has been researched. Why don't we go ahead and research now? Nope, the Onbu Feeding Trebuchet. Just so I can show how cool it is. Go ahead and get the Onbu Kitchen going as well. The mycologist can plant and harvest mushrooms. Go and put you down where? Not too close to over here, I think. It's unfortunate because the feeding happens up over here as well. The trebuchet gets set up over there, so it would be nice actually to have it up over here somewhere. Maybe it doesn't need to be so big. Maybe we can just use a small segment instead. Why don't we go ahead and put you down over here, perhaps? That looks all right, or perhaps even over here. Sure, let's pop you down there. And once it's built, we'll have like it all the way over here around that spike, perhaps. You know, just because it looks cool. It's iconic. It's a destination. It's not just a mycologist. It's not just a farm. It's a place to check out. Go ahead and get all these stones cleared out as well. Go ahead and get these guys too. Eventually, we'll be able to use a quarry to get the stone from these guys, and they're quite hefty in what they can provide. Wait, I haven't built the Scavenger Hut like the fool that I am. Scavenger Hut has to go by the edges over here so people can dive off, basically. Pop you down maybe up over here so all this stuff is a little less isolated. We'll put this down where? Up over here, I think. It'll eat up some of these berries, unfortunately. Dang. Just trying to keep as much of this clear as possible. Sure, we'll put you over here. That should be enough room for other Onbu-related stuff as well. What is this? Awaiting your decision. We have arrived at these nomads. Do you want to pick them up or send them away or postpone my decision? Again, we have 5 minutes to make the decision. These are the little spots that we saw on the map. We'll go ahead and pick them up. Commit to that. Yes, please, and thank you. Excellent. 3 more people have joined our village. I believe it takes just a moment for them to actually get added on. There we go. I was paused. That's why I didn't just add them. We do need some more houses now, though, right? We only have 16 houses. Maybe it would have been a good idea to research the bigger homes, the huts. 6 people. Better put one of those down. That's okay. We'll go ahead and pop some tents down instead. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that and that. Cool. That should be enough for now. More than enough, technically, but that's all good. And we'll go ahead and make this into a little block, and eventually we can demolish old tents and replace them with higher tier buildings. What do we have over here? Onbu sleeping spot. So the Onbu will sleep wherever it wants to sleep when it wants to sleep. We can also tell it to sleep anywhere along the road that we want to tell it to sleep. But at Onbu sleeping spots, it sleeps better. So you want to be picky about that as well. Do you want to have their sleepiness regenerate more quickly, or do you want to sleep at a random spot like just before a hazard so you can prepare for it? A bit of strategy involved, actually. And why don't we go ahead and make a decision over here? Do we want to go north or south? Presumably that's north and this is south, right? More southward versus more northward. I'm going to go ahead and say go north because I do not want to go through this arid territory over here, this desert, where our water collection would probably come to a standstill, right? In we come, and I'm actually tempted to do a lie down over here. Still suffering from cold weather, eh? Slowing down. It's almost bedtime, isn't it? and we are in fresh air, free from any toxins. That should put us in the comfy spot. Almost. I'm going to wait until we're like pretty much center. And you can see the ground is also appropriately changing. Looks like he's decided to have a lie down himself. He was getting pretty tired. But the sleepiness should recover much more quickly this time around than it did last time, because I do think we're in the comfy spot. Just looking at the terrain, right? This place is unaffected by poison and looks comfortable for Onbu to sleep in. I didn't notice that pop up down there. In comes the yawn. Adorable. Very loud. Can you imagine how loud that is? And down goes the head, sweetly curled up. Beautiful. Speed time up a little bit as the Onbu sleeps. Get these homes built over here. Yeah. Good stuff. There's the mycologist. Go ahead and add a plot. There you go. Don't know why it's actually highlighting down there. We'll see how that actually ends up working out. Don't actually destroy the spike, please. Don't want to hurt this guy. But I'm sure this will be enough mushrooms to start us off. I'm sure this will be more than enough. That's the mycologist. And wait, hang on a second. What are we researching right now? We are researching the Onbu... Oh, the Onbu kitchen is done. The Onbu kitchen is done. So why don't we go ahead and actually make the Onbu kitchen... I don't want to waste all these... I don't want to waste any of these berries. So let's put the Onbu kitchen down over here. We'll harvest these berries, make the Onbu kitchen there. That way the mushrooms can be taken to the kitchen very easily, and it can be transported to the trebuchet very easily as well. And that should be pretty good, I think. That makes sense to me. And here we have the Scavenger Hut. If we go ahead and open the full map here, we're able to do what? We can go to the mine to pick up some iron ore, not in a rush for that. A ruined settlement, perhaps send a party there. Again, it'll take a day and 14 hours, so you gotta balance your distance to stuff as well. Go ahead and get some wood or mushrooms, or perhaps stone. 15 hours it'll take. We'll be able to hit that up later as well, I think. And it looks like we're going from one biome to another that are exactly the same, more or less. It seems to be the case, if we keep going north. Oh no, the Onbu doesn't trust our command. Oh. Well, that hurts. He said he was unsure about which path to take. I was trying to help him out. Trying to help you out, buddy. Is it because I told you to run a couple times? Really? That's all it takes? That's all it takes? If we could just get the kitchen and the trebuchet done, we might be able to feed him and make him feel a bit better about us. We are also able to, if we get the Onbu doctor going, we can pet him. It's not just a physical doctor, but a mental health doctor as well, I suppose. Letting us know, you know, maybe pet the Onbu. Make him feel better about carrying you on his back. Certainly use another air well, I think. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another air well. Fits in there nicely. And let's get some more resources organized as well. Nobody's really idle right now, which is good. 2 unemployed, which means 2 people that are able to actually go around and harvest stones and stuff at random. I'm going to reduce the number of mycologists to just 1. And I'm going to reduce the number of... who else? I think everybody else is fine. Maybe the berry gatherers to 1 as well. Just to have more people able to do random tasks, basically. That should be good. Sure, get this air well done. Kitchen is being worked on. We're almost done our trebuchet. Hopefully the kitchen gets done before the trebuchet gets done. We'll actually be in a place to take advantage of everything we've built. Harvest some more trees over here. Be wary of the yellow one. I don't want to cut that down by mistake. And what else can I actually reduce? Fewer farmers over here, I suppose. Get some more people actually harvesting and all that. Because right now it seems one of our biggest issues is not having enough stuff to build with, right? There's the other air well. Good stuff, good stuff. So now we should definitely be able to fill up both of our water tanks, hopefully. Because, yeah, these are way too empty for my comfort. Way too empty for my comfort. Mushrooms being done up over here. 1 more wood plank, 2 more stone slabs. Come on now. I believe in you. Everyone having a snack down here. Are we really not using the pantry at all? I guess not. I guess we still aren't at that tipping point of surplus. Village doctor or cactus plantation. Open the research tree. Let's go ahead and get ourselves... what? Go ahead and get ourselves... the hut. Yeah, I think the hut makes sense. Scout tower to help scout further out. Tomato plantations that are heat resistant and grow quickly but require a lot of water. Fair enough, fair enough. Sure, we'll do the hut, and then maybe we'll do the the dung collector, I suppose, so we can get the sawmill, but perhaps more importantly the quarry going as well. Cool. So we've got the trebuchet ready to go. Let's go ahead and build the Onbu feeding trebuchet. Pop you down over here. Get some of those trees down. Again, sort of a central location, right? Makes most sense to me. And what do we need over here? First, I got to remove all the plants and stuff. Fair enough, fair enough. These tents have been built. This is all looking good. Again, 4 speed. Going as fast as we can. Up over here, waiting for these wood planks and stone slabs to arrive. In we go, and time to build away. Cool. What's wrong? It looked like they were just idling. Oh, I mean, they are idling. They work at the Scavenger Hut, so they don't really do anything unless they're out and about. Did the scavenging party really come back and I didn't notice? I suppose so. Huh. Let's go ahead and send the scavenging party up to this ruined settlement. 1 day and 18 hours it'll take. And food is actually looking kind of tight right now. So I want to go ahead and harvest some of these berries over here. A bit faster, we can go ahead and get it made into berry mostly. The beet soup is not being made because the beets aren't surviving their journey to up over here. We can stop the harvest right now if we want to. Just because the higher quality food is more, filling and more efficient. I wonder about that. But for now, let's grab some berries, some more stones being brought back. We have the Onbu kitchen done. Just have the one worker there. 20 mushrooms get converted into 1 piece of Onbu food, and the trebuchet can actually launch that into the Onbu's mouth. Hopefully it'll trust us a bit more. Onbu grumbles unhappily as it feels its spike being torn out. Oh no, they actually did rip it out. Dang. Should have known, I should have known. I was hoping it would be marked with like a little balloon like everything else is. Ah, that's too bad. It's okay, he'll love us again. He'll love us again. I was so sure we used to be able to see its trust in us, but I suppose not. And I guess it makes more sense to not know how much it does or doesn't trust us. Or maybe I'm just simply blind right now and I can't see it. But I think it makes sense to not know if it trusts us or not, because that way there's an opportunity to be surprised when it goes, no, I'm not listening to you. You just ripped a spike out my back. That was my skin. Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. That was not intentional. We'll feed it a little bit and I'm sure he'll be happy. Sure, we'll be just a-okay. Which direction did you choose? I think, yeah, he chose north anyway, so it works out for us. A little scavenging up over here. Ooh, and there are some nomads up over there. Are they? Yeah, it looks like they are moving. Oops. I wish there was a middle, like, zoom. It looks like they're very slowly moving. We might actually intercept them. Again, do we, like, want to sleep to slow us down or anything like that? Or will we miss them then? What I could do is once we get to this spot, I can try giving the sleep command and seeing if the Onbu will listen, and then maybe the nomads will, intercept us that way. Rather than us intercepting them, they'll intercept us as we lie down for a quick nap. I mean, we're starting to feel sleepy. The Onbu is, I mean. See, I consider us as one combined being, and yet you don't trust me. Come on, buddy. There's only 1 spike. So many more that we've avoided. So many more that we've avoided. Good, good, good. All good, alright. A little concerned about our food situation. It's better now, but it was getting awfully low at one point. Just because, oh, look at that. Our production versus consumption is... Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Maybe some more berry gatherers are in order. Could do more berry gatherers, or I could add, yes, maybe a couple more farmers. Sure. It's taking a bit too easy on the farming, I think. And that should help balance things out. Yeah, feels better. Cool, excellent. Though more berries are coming through right now as well, so that might be what's tipping the numbers. I think that's exactly what's going on. But we'll keep our eyes peeled for it. Onbu seems unsure which direction to take. Oh, have I missed? Dang. It moves really fast at 4 times speed. Good idea, but hopefully we keep going north. I can pick up those nomads up over there. Doesn't trust our commands. Alright. Go ahead and get the cactus plantation going. 7 more, or rather 8 more wood planks we need. Take down more of these trees. Get to work quickly now. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to actually finish the trebuchet. Didn't take too long. Hopefully he keeps going north. Come on. Come on. Keep going north. Keep going north, buddy. You know you want to. There's nothing but desert here. Damn it. That is my luck. That is my luck. This is going to be harsh. Onbu yawns. He's going to have a nap right now. He's getting quite tired. I could use that extra time to acquire some water. Neither of these are full up. So I wonder if I shouldn't get some more air wells down, perhaps. Right down the middle, efficiency's okay. It's at 100%, but you know what I mean. It's okay as in like our total overall efficiency in having 2 water tanks makes it okay at best. 20 and 45. Gotta be wary, right? Because farming and everything eats it all up. Did you sleep just outside of the safe zone? Buddy, come on. It's just a little bit further away. Just a little bit further away. All good. All good. Trees are being chopped down. Yep, looks like planks are being brought over already, actually. Good stuff, good stuff. Just a few more needed. And again, this is why like efficient placement and stuff obviously makes a difference if you are, especially in like the late game when you're rushed or pressed for time. Are we looking over here? 64% done. Cactus plantation. Oh, here we go. See, these are the real numbers. These are the real numbers, but I think it's because everybody was eating there for a moment. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. More muesli done. So 3 berries becomes 5 muesli, right? So again, you can see the efficiency increase there. I think we'll be okay. Maybe. I don't know, those numbers are wiggling a lot. They're dancing a lot. Could add another worker here as well. What do we have right now? 2 unemployed. Again, the unemployed workers are the ones who do all the, you know, resource gathering. So we can't have that be at 0 either. We can't have that be at 0 either. Here's the feeding trebuchet done. Full staff required at all times. We do have the Onbu food. There's Onbu laxative to make it defecate more. And then there's the Onbu constipator to make it defecate less often. I assume defecating makes it hungrier. I haven't noticed previously, but once it wakes up, we'll go ahead and hit it with the with some food. Time to pick a new research. Let's go ahead and get the dung collector so we can start looking at the sawmill and the quarry as well, especially. And why don't we go ahead and harvest some more trees. Get some of these. Get some of these and these guys as well. Get some berries too, sure, why not? Doesn't hurt. It does not hurt. Alright, we're good. I could have used some of those nomads that we walked right past. Such is my luck. Such is my luck. Could have probably got these guys too, because we would have been napping like right there instead of right here. Ah! A life of regrets. It's all because of that one spike, isn't it? I don't blame the guy. I don't blame the guy. He's starting to get hungry though, so that's cool. The timing will be perfect as he wakes up. Look at those slight rocking and stuff as well. Just such nice little touches. Good stuff. Good stuff. We've got huts available now. They take wood planks. They fit more people in a smaller amount of space though. Why don't we go ahead and... How big are you again? Yes. Go ahead and demolish these 2. We'll replace it with a hut. Looks nicer. Better living conditions, right? Improves productivity of inhabitants and offers decent protection from poisonous air. The better they're living, the better they're working, and the better they're working, the better they're living. The circle of life, right? That's what it was. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I think food is all right. It's just a matter of when when everybody went to eat at the same time, that was a bit of a problem. But otherwise we're looking okay. I mean, right now everybody's going to eat at the same time, and we're still looking okay, so that's not too bad. I guess having that second worker here has made quite a difference, and having all these berries available as well, of course, has made quite a difference too. Good stuff. Still harvesting away, still working away. I could put a second one down somewhere over here, or even... Yeah, I guess that's the only other spot, like somewhere over here, or somewhere over here. I suppose that's a bit closer to the pantry and stuff. Onbu is done resting. Up he goes. Alright, let's feed it. Let's go ahead and feed the Onbu. And as I feed the Onbu its food, I would like to feed you with the 3rd Steam Key. At the top left corner of the screen in about 3, 2, 1, there it is. You'll have the Steam key that you can copy, or I suppose type out into your Steam as you redeem the game and enjoy it for yourself. Again, it releases on the 14th of September into early access, and that's around 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is around noon Eastern time, and hopefully that's enough to... That 3-hour span is enough for you to do further calculations from, because right now time zones are escaping my mind because I'm busy taking care of my Onbu. Gonna go ahead and give it some food. We should see it. Actually, we're preparing the food right now. We should be launching it pretty soon, and there's a fun animation, so I want to make sure we don't miss that when the opportunity comes. Keep walking, buddy. Don't stop down for a meal. I don't want to feed you when you're already full, right? And yeah, if you just gone to rest here, you would have slept for less time. But hey, he was tired. I understand. I understand. Preparing. Want to make sure I don't miss it. Buddy's coming over. Yeah, there he is. In he goes. Onbu food. Whoa. Almost missed it. Food has been launched, and I wanted to show you the zoomed in animation as well. Food has been launched, and in it goes. There you go. See, pretty cool. Pretty fun. I don't know how much it helps his hunger right now, but I am pleased to feed the Onbu and hopefully regain some of its trust. We can actually start telling it where to go and what to do. There you go. Look at that. Big reduction in its hunger level. Might actually keep it going when it comes by some food. Little unfortunate that we're about to hit the desert over here, because things can get quite a bit more challenging. I don't know if we've got enough water to last us the time. 95, 30. Oh, you know what? We should be all right. As long as we're not faced with more desert immediately afterwards, that would be bad. Short heat wave over here, of course. No oasis or anything. No oasis, just heat. Heat and dryness and sadness. We did not happen to cross through any toxic lands, which is good, because that can be quite troubling as well. That's where the poison level becomes an issue, and where fungal growths become an issue, and you have to start worrying about things like what's the word I'm looking for? Pulling those flamethrowers out to take care of fungal growths and damaged trees and corrupted mushrooms and things like that, all kinds of wild stuff. A lot of cool stuff to explore that we have not been able to explore as our air wells here shut down. You can see completely 0% production speed. No water is being made anymore. You know what? We do have the cactus plantation though, so if we were feeling desperate, we could swap this over, I think, to cactus and try and keep us alive. Then again, whoa, look at that. Even in this heat, we can't even grow beets. We can switch to cactus, though. Get it going. Allow us to... We use water, but it also gives us water. Or do we just have the water in there? Yeah, no requirements for the cactus. Yeah, I suppose we would need to grow some cactus so we can keep ourselves watered at the very least. And then use the berry bushes to keep us fed as well. Things are looking pretty alright, I would say, but this is where we're going to go ahead and call it a session, folks. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at The Wandering Village. I find it to be just an absolutely charming game. The concepts are quite amazing. It has it uses those concepts to build a very compelling set of mechanics. It's not just, you know, it's very creative, but it's not just creativity for creativity's sake. Everything has a purpose, I feel like. So I've been really enjoying my time with the early access build. I enjoyed my time tremendously with the Steam Next Fest demo build as well, way back when, earlier this year. And already I'm being surprised by some of the changes in the game, in terms of how much of an improvement has been made in some ways, some of the new mechanics that have been added in various ways as well in various places. So for me, that's always a promising sign for a game going into early access. So the developers are making changes and tweaks and big upgrades as well, not just small tweaks and adjustments, but big upgrades, big changes to the various mechanics and systems in the game. And I think the foundation is just fantastic, as you've heard me say countless times, and so I'm very excited to see exactly where it goes next and what gets added and how things are built on top of this this excellent foundation that walks from place to place. Again, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you would like to see more of the Wandering Village on the channel, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like and a comment down below, just letting me know you'd like to see more. If you have any questions, thoughts, or opinions, share them in the comments down below. I'll answer all that I can, and I will, I'll be, of course, available on the Discord and stuff as well, linked in the description down below to reach out to if you have any more specific questions or curiosities. I hope those of you that were able to pick up the keys for yourself enjoy the game as it releases again tomorrow if you're watching this video the day it came out, but September 14th if you're not. But apart from that as well, for those of you that decide to pick it up, I hope you enjoy your time with it, and I look forward to hearing some stories perhaps of taking care of your Onbu and things not going horribly wrong when you start ripping out the spikes on its back and digging into its very, very, back, I suppose. God, I felt bad about that. But folks, as bad as I feel about that, you know what I feel good about? I feel good about saying thanks to all of the amazing channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, saying a big old thanks to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.